Hello, Lynn Zettler here, and I am excited to share with you some real value in developing your leadership, developing your team, and getting results. So getting results using a one-page business plan. This is my all-time favorite tool. I wish that I would have had this during my 20-year career at Dow Chemical. It gives you the focus that you need, the communication tool that you need, the alignment, the accountability, everything you need to be a great leader and to get everyone aligned to getting results very quickly. So I'm excited to share this with you today. I'm going to share a lot of information very quickly, but don't worry. I'm going to give you lots of opportunities at the end to get things in writing, so you don't have to take a huge amount of notes, but listen carefully because I'm really going to show you that, yes, you really can do it on one page, one piece of paper, no kidding. Let's get started. So you're wondering, what will you get today? Because it's going to take about 30 minutes for us to get through this. But what are you going to get? You're going to get a planning process and methodology for leading your team. This is really going to show how you can be a rock star of a leader for sure. And you're going to learn how to develop your own personalized plan for your business or your team. However it goes, this could be for a department even. I use it myself just for my own business. Lots of different ways you can use this tool. So definitely, those are the two things you're going to walk away with. And most of all, you're going to learn how to get results really quickly. You're probably wondering, why do I have to have a written business plan? Is this just something that I'm going to write pages and pages and I'm going to put it away and never look at it again? No, that's why it is such a great tool, because it's on one piece of paper. The reason that you have to have it is because when it's in your head, when things are swimming in your head, it's not all that easy to articulate and communicate to other people. You need to have it written down so that if you need to change it, you know what you're changing. You know how to articulate those changes, right? It breaks down silos as well. People working in vacuums, it shows people this is the plan that the department is working on, or this is the plan that the company has. Everyone then knows how that affects them. How do they align to it? It also keeps us focused on the right things at the right time. And it also ensures that we have agreement with our teams, especially if we utilize our teams to help develop the plans, which I highly recommend. Then you have buy-in to that plan to make it successful and to hold people accountable. Most of all, you're going to track those things and you're going to get results. That's why you have to have a written plan. So here's an example. Take a look. The Colorado Garden Window Company. This is a one-page plan. Look how much white space there is there. So there are 5 areas: vision, mission, objectives or goals. You'll hear me use that interchangeably. Strategies and action plans. And notice how succinct they are. They don't write paragraphs of information. They write very short, succinct sentences. And you can't have more than 9 objectives, no more than 9 strategies, and no more than 9 action plans. Doesn't mean that you don't have more going on, but you want to choose the 9 most important things to keep people focused on. You don't have to have 9, but 9 is allowed. Those are the only things that you really have to worry about. Now, how do you get there? There's 5 easy questions that we're going to answer. The first, what are we building? That's your vision. Why does this business exist? That's your mission statement. What will we measure? What are the things we're going to track? Those are your objectives or goals. How will this business be built? Those are your strategies. The hows. People get really confused about what strategies are. There's never any dates with strategies. It answers the question how you're going to do something, not when. All right, and then what is the work to be done? Those are your action plans. That's where the rubber hits the road, the things that actually need to get done. So we're going to break these down and work our way through it so that you can be well on your way to developing your one-page business plan. You may be wondering, well, what are the benefits? How has this helped other companies or other organizations? Well, definitely will strengthen your leadership and your results for sure. Things will line up very quickly. And I'll give you an example of one of my clients in a minute. It's going to force you to take the time to think and articulate about what you really want, about what's best for the business, what's best for your department and your people. It's going to give you an opportunity for discussion and buy-in with your team, all talking about the same thing, right? Getting good ideas from multitudes of minds, right, always makes things better. It's going to give you a culture of inclusion and transparency. People are going to be able to see where there's overlap, who's working on what. Those are great things because you may very well have more than one business plan. You may have one for the organization, and then you may have others for each department. That's the way this works beautifully. It's also going to give you accountability and alignment to your results, and we'll definitely talk about that some more. And most of all, it's very simple. It really is just a discipline. So you might also be wondering then, well, what about your clients, Lynn? What clients are you talking about? How did it help them? Okay. One of my clients has been using this for 3 years, and it offered a lot of transparency and clarity across departments instead of the silos they had. There were 14 department heads, and there was, one large organization, and none of them knew what the others were doing. None of them knew how they were aligned to company goals. So we put together a one-page plan for the organization using all of those team members. And then from there, each one of those department heads built their own one-page plan that aligned to the business plan. Now everyone was pointed in the same direction. Everyone knew what they were doing. They knew where the overlaps were. They knew how to work together. So it aligned those department plans to the company plan. And then they had great methods of accountability. They had regular review of the plans. They adjusted the plans accordingly when needed. And they knew who was doing what and what barriers were getting in the way and how they could help each other remove those barriers most of all. They kept it really simple, and it really helped them make progress very quickly. So, as you can imagine, they wanted a higher level of success for themselves. And when you want a higher level of success, you know it's going to require something different, because if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get the same results, not the next level. So the next level of success requires the next level of discipline for sure. That's what the one-page plan will give you, that next level of discipline for your team and your organization. So, what does that next level of discipline look like? It affects a lot of areas. You're going to have the next level of discipline in your thinking. In your communication, it's going to be a great communication tool. In your decision making, just putting a vision, mission, and objectives together helps you make decisions about what you're not going to do, right? And stop spreading yourself so thin. And then your execution is going to be highly disciplined, as well as your accountability, because you actually have things written down and you're tracking them. So again, looking at the one-page plan, this time for Fred Smith. Again, look how clean this is. And it can be very easy. It's simple and clear. It's not complex. Remember, we're just using those questions to answer what the vision and mission are. We're not worried about all the other definitions that are out there. If you ask 5 people, you'll get 5 different answers on what the definition of a vision or mission is. We're just going to use those questions. Don't worry about any other definitions you've used. We're just going to use those 5 questions. Never going to start with a blank page. I've got some templates you can use. This works universally. Every company, every country, every culture, doesn't matter. This kind of methodology works, and it's worked for over 20 years. So remember, just as a reminder, we're going to start with these questions. What are we building? Why do we exist? What results will we measure? How will this business be built? And what is the work to be done? Now, I promise I'm going to break these down so that you get more information about each one of them. Let's first look at this simple picture. Got the current state, right, of where you are, in your vision of where you want to be, which is somewhere different, right? And usually we're looking at 3 to 5 years out for a vision statement. So I've left the year kind of blank for you. It's 20-something that we're probably looking at here, but we know that that's what we're going to be looking for. And we know that those strategic objectives, those strategies and objectives are what's going to get us there. right? That's going to help us fill this gap. So first, we're going to decide and figure out where you want to go. That's your first place. And then you're going to look at where you are now. And then lastly, then you're going to look at what strategies and objectives you need to put in place to get there. That's the simple big picture. Now we're going to dig into it. First, that vision statement, right? What are we building? What are you building as a department, as an organization, or as a company? So here are the things that you need for your template. The type of business that you are, articulate it. The geographic scope and the projected annual sales. Are you just a statewide company, a regional company, national, international? What are you looking for? What core products or services do you offer? There shouldn't be a ton of these. It should be 2 or 3. And then what's your customer profile? What does your customer look like? Who are you really targeting? Now, I know this sounds like a lot, and it should be. You should spend the bulk of your time with your team developing this vision statement because it's going to be your North Star for at least the next 3 to 5 years, right? It's a North Star. That's where everyone aligns. So make sure you spend the time on it. Here is a template that comes with the one-page business plan. If you get the workbook, for example, and I'll talk about that later, but this is how simple it is. There's just blanks you need to fill in. Within the next blank years, you choose. Is it 3 years? Is it 5? Is it 4? What you're going to grow, what's the name of your company or the name of your department? Into a what? How much annual sales do you want? Is revenue what you want to use there? You might be able to use something else if you want, but annual sales is definitely the most popular. Again, then your geographical scope. Where are you operating? What's the type of business? You've answered these questions that I've given you in the past slide. And then what your key products or services are and describe the characteristics. That's how easy just using this template should be, right? So here's an example from that Colorado company. What will they look like in 3? They chose 3 years. Within the next 3 years, build Colorado Garden Window Company into a $40 million home products company, specializing in custom and replacement windows and skylights for the upscale home and baby boomer markets. Look at that. They've got everything in there. They are a home products company. They want to grow to $40 million, but they specialize in custom and replacement windows. For upscale home and baby boomer markets, they're very specific. It's not just for everybody. Very specific about what their mission statement is. That's the way it should be. Spend the time to make sure you do it right. After you do your mission statement, we're going to move right on to the mission statement, answering the question, why does this business exist? What do you do and who do you do it for, right? You need your ideal client description and what the goal or benefit of your product or service is. What are you doing and who are you doing it for? That answers your mission statement. Again, we have a very simple template. We help blank. You fill it in. Who are you helping? And you help by doing what? What's the benefit or product of your service? Let me give you an example again from the Colorado company that we talked about. We help homeowners enjoy the light, air, and the beauty of nature through creative windows. Look how simple that is. It should be no more than 9 to 11 words. It should be easy to remember. Your team should be able to remember it. Sometimes people say it should be kind of like from the gut, right? It should feel good about what you're doing and why. So that is what your mission statement is all about. Why does this business exist? And now that you've got your vision and mission statement, we're going to move on. Remember, we started with the simple picture, your vision, where you want to go, where you are now, and now we're going to focus on these strategic objectives, the strategies, and the objectives that will get you there. That's what's next. So, objectives or goals, I use those words interchangeably, are all about what we will measure. If you're familiar with SMART goals, S-M-A-R-T, that's what we're talking about. If you don't know what that is, Google it. You will find out. Always use that in every workshop that I ever do about goals or objectives. What will we measure? Again, we're going to use a template that's going to include the action that's going to be taken. What is that action? And a graphable result, something that's measurable, and a completion date. Please, everyone forgets completion dates. You have to have completion dates, otherwise it's just a wish. So with your objectives or goals, I'm always going to be looking for that completion date. Here's an example of some templates that are available again through the one-page business plan. You might have a objective, look at the key results. What is that action? Increase total revenue. That's the action that you want to occur, that key result. Decrease cost of goods sold. Reduce inventory levels, right? These are all things that you can actually graph because you can put in from a certain number and to another number. And that can definitely be where you currently are to where you want to be. There should also be a completion date, always. Don't forget that. So, what about the Colorado company? Here we go. They had some objectives of increasing sales from 15 million to 17 million in 2019. So, they're starting out at 15 million at the end of 18, and they want to grow that in 2019. They want to grow profit before tax from 1.2 to 1.5 million. Great. What's missing there? I don't see a date. They might think that it's just within their fiscal year, which is fine, but then say that. Be specific. Don't forget to put your date in there. Again, reduce COGS from 40% to 38% with lean manufacturing programs. That's great. Tells me how you're going to do it even. I love that. Gives me something that's measurable. But again, by when? Is that 5 years out? Is it 2 months out? Is it 6 months out? How long is it going to take you to do that? Always remember to put your date there. Reduce inventory. That has everything you need. Love it. Increase active store count. Again, has everything you need, including the date. All right. And last, achieve an on-time delivery with accuracy, right? 98% on time, 98% accuracy by September 30th. Wonderful. So we've taken care of those objectives. We've got dates, now strategies, and this is where people get really confused. They say, I don't understand what a strategy is. Is it another goal? What is it? No, it answers the question how. There are no dates associated with strategies. It is how you're going to achieve something, how you're going to build the business. So that's either a business building activity or a goal, and how it will be done. Typically, we try to pick 3 ways that we're going to do it. We're going to hit it from 3 different angles even. That's the way we're going to look at our templates at least. Doesn't have to be that way, but that's what I'm going to show you today. How will this business be built? Here are some examples. We're going to grow the business by, see, that's the activity or the goal. We're going to increase brand awareness and visibility, or focus sales and marketing resources on, or reduce manufacturing costs by. And you're going to list 3 ways that you're going to do this. So, for example, increase brand awareness and visibility by. You may include 3 things like by social media, by advertising, by radio. Those would be 3 things that you could use to build brand awareness and visibility. Great. That tells me we're not using TV, right? So that's the reason that you're doing this. Figure out, what are you doing? What are you not doing? Let's look at the example from the Colorado company. They're going to capitalize on green and remodeling markets with creative products and easy financing and installations in 5 days or less. That's their strategy. Notice there's no date there. It's how. They're focusing on creative products, easy financing, and installations. They're going to build nationally recognized brand name with creative media, national retail partnerships, and a strong dealer network. That's the way they're going to do it. They're going to become a vendor of choice by maintaining inventory of standard window sizes, just the standard sizes, and fast turnaround on customer orders. That's going to make them turn things around very quickly. They're always going to have things in inventory, And people are going to love them for that. So they'll become the vendor of choice. And they are going to use technology to reduce manufacturing costs, improve quality, and customer service and distribution services. Well, that may mean that they're going to make some investments in that technology, but that tells us something, right? As a follower, as a team member, that if I know of a software program that's going to fit with one of those areas, that's something that we should be looking at. That's what your strategies are telling you. All right, great. So we've got our strategies, the hows, and we've got our objectives, the what's, and now we got to look at, okay, what work are we going to do? What are the actual projects we have to put in place, right? This is where the rubber hits the road. This is a business building project or program and a launch or completion date. So again, dates are very important here. Remember, going back, objectives or goals need dates. Action plans need dates, right? Strategies, no, don't need dates. So here's how we're going to go forward here. Examples. You're just going to choose a verb to get started with these. You're going to either introduce something or complete something, or you're going to hire someone, or you're going to lease something or install, whatever that verb is that you want to use, combined with what's your project or program, what's the name of it. Maybe you're going to hire 4 people in your sales force by May 31st. Maybe you're going to complete an overhaul of your sales program by February 11th. Whatever it is, those are examples of how you can fill these in and use them to align with the objectives that you've set. All right, so what about that Colorado company again? They're going to introduce new scenic garden window at the SF Products Show, February the 17th. So it looks like that's probably a new product. Wonderful. They're going to hire 4 sales reps by May 30th, and they're going to focus on signature homes in Denver, Salt Lake, and Phoenix. They're going to phase in new packaging design by July 31st, and they're going to implement Salesforce system by September 15th. So notice how they're so clear. They definitely have dates. Sometimes they take out the words different words that you don't really need in order to make it even shorter. Very clear though, very concise. And remember, your action plans need to be throughout your year. Don't put them all in one quarter. You can't get everything done first quarter and have nothing for the rest of the year. You should have 1 or 2 action plans in every quarter, maybe 3. Remember, you only get 9 total. So now, just to revisit, again, we're look at how simple we can make this 1-page plan by going through that methodology and that process. Answering these 5 questions, right? What are you building? Why do you exist? What will you measure? How will the business be built? And what's the work to be done? Very easy, takes time, believe me. I usually allot about 8 hours for a team to do this. It takes time, but it's well worth it because you're all going to be aligned and moving beautifully forward in the same direction. So now you're wondering, well, what do I do next? I'm wondering what I'm building, why my business exists, what will I measure, how will I grow and improve, how am I going to make this company grow, what's the work to be done, all those things. What's next? You could be thinking, great, I can figure this out myself. And you probably can, no doubt. I'm sure you can. And just to help you out, you can buy the book, the 1-page business plan. It's not my book. I don't get anything from this. I just love it so much, and I use it in my own business. So I know Jim Horan, but he doesn't give me anything for selling books. I don't care. Buy it on Amazon. Go to his website. Buy the book. There's lots of stuff in there that will help you. You can figure it out yourself, and you can do it. But if you're overwhelmed and you're thinking, oh, it's going to take so much work to figure it out, I get that too. You can contact me. That's fine. Contact Core Impact Coaching. I've got workbooks. I'll make sure you get them, as many as you need. I've got the templates, got the expertise. I've been through so many of these. have also access to an online planning tool that you can use. That way everybody gets access to the plan and can see it and can see other people's plans in your organization so that you're all aligned and all looking at where you're connected. Also, we develop an accountability process with you, and we give you coaching and your team members coaching if you need it. We'll customize this however you need it. We can make it as big as you want or as small. Nothing too big or too large. I have a team ready, willing, able, and excited to work with you. Most of all, we're going to give you speed. We're going to make sure you get up and running very quickly and get the results that you need. So if you're ready for that, you can also contact me. How do you do that? You can contact me first by going to the website, Core Impact Coaching. You can contact me from there, or if you're not quite ready to talk yet, go there and get your free download. There's a free download for a one-page business plan ebook where I have really laid out a lot of what I've just covered so that you've got it in writing. You have an electronic version of it. Gives you the templates, shows you exactly what I'm talking about. So go to the website, get the free download for sure. It's no problem. I love sharing that. And then if you want to do more than that, send me an email, lzettler@coreimpactcoaching.com. Be happy to answer questions, set up a meeting with you, figure out what you need, what you want, what resources you have, what resources I have, how we can help you. I'm happy to do that. So definitely give us a call. Most of all, we are so excited for you to get the results you want and be the great leader that we know you already are. So with that, I'll let you go for the day, and I look forward to talking to you.